closer to God. Also, if you're not currently sharing your faith, just wait on the Lord. He will put someone in your path. Psalm 107, 23, 24. They that go down to the sea in ships, that do business in great waters, these see the work of the Lord and his wonders in the deep. I thank God for showing me his great wonders, both literally and spiritually. So, who likes a good sea story? Men? Combined with a good love story? Ladies? Hold on. This is a love story that is both earthly and heavenly. And it goes back to the 80s, yeah, no less. 1980s, not the 1880s. This one spanning over a year, 2 ships, a few key people, and many miles of the keel at sea. So it's 1982. I'm 1 year out of the Maritime College. I'm a 3rd officer on the USNS Pawcatuck, formerly known as the Pump and Pee, ancient looking ship, right? It was a tanker working with the U.S. Navy. This is where I met Rod Franks. He was an unlicensed crew, able-bodied seaman. We were on the same watch, which meant 4 hours on and 8 hours off. And he was a helmsman when we did underway replenishments or unreps with different naval ships at sea. We got to know each other casually, and he professed to be a Christian, as I did as well, only because really of my family's church upbringing. But Rod was talking about something more deep and personal about Jesus, which I knew I didn't have. And he encouraged me to look up different verses in the Bible that would apply to our various conversations. He did not hard sell me, and I wasn't really spiritually searching at the time, even though I knew I had an undefined void. He did ask me one haunting question that stayed with me over this year period. Where are you going to go when you die? This hit home because I just lost my roommate and best friend 1 year out of college due to complications from him working on an oil rig in the North Sea. So when you're an officer in the Merchant Marine, it wasn't encouraged that you fraternize with the unlicensed crew on board. So we didn't really hang out together on that ship. But what I was doing was falling in love with a pretty girl from Long Island who had met my senior year in college, and I was missing her with each passing day. Rod, my friend AB, eventually left the ship because his time was up, and that was that, or so I thought. I continued sailing on that ship for several more months, all kinds of sense of sea buildup, by the way. And another ship after that, and after another 6 months. So fast forward a year, the fall of 1983. I don't know who that is.
Studley.
I'm now a couple months in on a 6-month contract as 3rd officer on USNS Marshfield, carrying Poseidon nuclear ballistic missiles during the height of the Cold War, back and forth across the Atlantic. So even though I'm smiling there, I was really more depressed as ever when wondering what life was really about. Away again, once again, from my girlfriend who's wondering what's going on with our relationship, and if this is the way it's going to be forever, with me being at sea all the time. So the older folks here, remember the song from the 70s that come to mind? Something about the sea, and no, her name was not Miranda. Okay. Not to mention I had an oppressive captain who was mean and basically a 3rd stage mean drunk. So the Martini flag would literally go up the minute we left our home port in Charleston and sailed into Scotland. He would be drunk the whole way over and back. Go figure, full cargo, nuclear missiles, captain was drunk in his bunk most of the time. Makes sense, right? Stuff you don't know. But this was before the Exxon Valdez, so things are better now. And he was riding me hard the whole time. So, who comes up the gangway one day, smiling the whole way as I'm focusing in on him, but my old friend, Rod Franks. So, the odds of this happening are next to nil. About 50 ships that the Military Sealift Command had, that he would wind up on my ship again, and he gets assigned to my watch on the 12 to 4. I mean, this is a miracle, absolutely a miracle, which you will see why. But God knew what I needed, and waited until I was in place, both spiritually and physically, that I would really be able to listen to him through my friend Rod, and accept the truth about Jesus and God's plan, which I'm glad to say is what I did. Praise God, because his timing is perfect. Comes to this stuff. So through all those months on board, being discipled by Rod in practical and spiritual ways, I started to see the Holy Spirit do amazing things. So remember that captain I told you about? I was ready to kill this guy. You know, I was just like, But instead, Rod said, no, I got to pray for the enemies. What is that? You know, so we prayed, and I'm telling you, after like 5, 6, 7 months, his heart and mine actually softened. He asked me to stay on board to be a second mate. We had another AD on our watch and became a Christian. So this guy's name is Scotty Forget. He's a fitness freak. We became good friends. He taught me about health, fitness, eating right, good stuff. So we actually had an all-Christian watch, which is absolutely unheard of. So it had 3, 4 guys that were Christians and be able to talk about Jesus things. It was pretty neat. So we had a lot of time in the middle of the ocean, especially at midnight to 4 watch, when nothing was going on, to talk about just that. So Rod introduced me to something else called Christian music. I've never heard before. And I started listening to that. Instead of the mindless, worldly lyrics, I don't remember those 80s songs, right? Say no more. That helped my spirit and faith big time. So he introduced me to that. Rod helped me fix up an old beater car that we would work on. Went off watching Port Charleston. Spent time with him. When in Scotland, during the many port calls, we got out for a few hours after watch and went sightseeing. Yeah, sightseeing, not drinking, okay? Sightseeing. Instead of drinking and carousing like the rest of the crew at all the bars. Go to museums, big Scottish horses in the fields. We just got out. We had fun, you know? It's good. He taught and showed me there was a better way to have fun and to be obedient to Christ rather than the world's way. And he backed it up with scripture that really did convince it to me through the Holy Spirit, which I would then go and read and study on my own, and then we discuss it on our next 4-hour watch. You know, the ship, you can't get too far, right? You're kind of stuck. So he actually bought an expensive solo flex exercise machine. We put it in my room, and the crew and cadets would come and work out there. So it was like, we had this whole thing going on, right? We had young cadets on our watch. They're just like midshipmen in training. They'd come up on the bridge. I'd tell them right away, forget about all the seaman stuff, seamanship, navigation, forget all that stuff right now. I said, instead, listen to what this guy Rod is saying about Jesus, because this is truth and this is what you need from life. So I was really beginning to get filled with the Holy Spirit at that point. We had watch rotations change over time on board, and I could share Jesus how comfortably with my new watch shipmates, you know, because I had been so discipled so well. Thanks to Rod, I can honestly say life got better with Jesus. Not easier, but fuller and with meaning. Because I could focus on him and his truth as a young Christian in a tough environment. I actually stayed on that ship for another 6 months. For a year I stayed on that thing. Melissa, sorry, I wish. She knows. Anyway, 1 year total with many Atlantic crossings. So we went back and forth lots of times. So early on, I couldn't wait to get off that ship. You remember me saying that. But after accepting Jesus under Rod's discipleship, I couldn't wait to learn more about my spiritual father and real home in heaven. I thought I was doing my job navigating the seas as I used the stars and sun to find my ship's position. But you know, God actually used the job and his creation to steer me to his way, truth, and life. Which brings us to my girlfriend. Remember her at the time? I think I blew it because if you haven't figured it out, that was Melissa. Who Rod said flatly, you cannot marry her until she gets right with God. It was a bold statement, which I wrestled with a lot, but it was true, and I accepted it a lot more as I understood the depth of being a follower of Christ and how important it was for us both to be on the same page. When I came home, she said, what happened to you? Because I was a changed person, and I was on fire for Jesus. This led to some rough spots in our relationship over the next year or so, with a few breakups and tears. She can tell you her story someday. But spoiler alert, God and his grace are so good, as many prayers were answered. And the legacy of faith is Rod and Melissa. The legacy of faith of how Melissa and my story fits into God's story and his kingdom purposes that we have been hearing about recently. It's real when it comes to leading others to Christ and helping them get closer to Christ. So, in conclusion, God used my time and seed to get my attention and use an ordinary seaman believer to lead and show me by becoming my friend, spending his time and resources, and he was bold enough to take the risk. I was his boss, and talk to me about Jesus and his faith. So it's my prayer that we can all be a little more like Rod's example and respond to the Holy Spirit's leading. Know and understand God's word as he leads us to share our faith with others so they can know Jesus and his saving grace. Thank you.
I hope the next square baton ties come back too.